/C/Serious Minds RN TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Serious Minds, seriously. Peace.
You are now listening to Serious Minds RN TV with your host, Professor Griff. The call-in number is 516-654-7688. That's 516-654-7688. This is Professor Griff, and this is Serious Minds RN TV. Serious Minds for Serious Minds. Seriously.
Greetings. Peace. All right, it's Professor Griff, and of course, y'all should already know this is Serious Minds RN TV. Shout out to everyone that has joined us this evening for this very interesting show. So, this beautiful, talented stepdaughter of mine brought this to my attention. That there was a company bringing people back to life. And I said, nah, let me look it up. I got to see. So, idea of frozen human beings being brought back to life. Cryonics procedures may begin within a few minutes of death and use this particular technology, all right, to bring people back to life 20, 30 years later. I know. I don't normally do the science fiction thing, because years and years ago when I used to drop this kind of stuff, people wrote me off as conspiracy theorists and just kind of wrote me off. Not that I gave a rat's ass, but hey, yeah. Anyway, so I thought I would kind of bring it up again and have the conversation with the assistance of you. Herbal pharmacist, what's good with you? All right, you good? All right, Lorraine, and second to last, okay. Lorraine, now you know we need to talk about them. That information I'm supposed to send you, I'm digging it up, but did you get that email out to me? Come on now. All right, shout out to the Serious Minds family on IG. Shout out to the Serious Minds family here on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and wherever else you are watching this. All right, if someone else brought this to your attention, thank them. All right, now I need you to kind of come on over to YouTube, participate in the conversation. But if you're comfortable on IG, stay over there. All right? I can't tell you where to watch it at or what to do. But if you're more comfortable sitting on that raggedy ass couch that your grandmama left you, by all means, stay right there. All right? Don't let me disturb your groove. All right? Make it happen. Please resend it, Miss Lorraine. I'm trying to get the information to you. All right? Anyway, in the meantime, in between time, all right, we're going to talk about this subject. Very critical. And frozen humans being brought back to life. All right. Yeah. I'm going to let y'all marinate on that for a minute, man, because it is one of them kind of situations where it's like, for real? Wow. So, yeah. But in other news, before we dive into that one, in other news, Let me see if I can find it, just so y'all can see it. Hold on. In other news, we're going to talk about San Jose, California. What is San Jose doing? San Jose, California passes the first United States law requiring gun owners to get liability insurance and pay an annual fee. Wow. So if that
each year, Americans waste 21.
If that is the case, then, well, let me not say that. I'm not going to say anything simply because I don't like jumping on subjects as soon as they come out. I'd rather wait, get some more information, and just kind of speak on it from an intelligent position. All right?
Children and gun safety, the decision to charge the parents of the alleged gunman in the Oxford, Michigan school shooting with involuntary manslaughter has brought new attention to the laws surrounding children's access to firearms. Gun safety advocates want gun owners to be held criminally responsible in the event that they fail to properly secure their firearms. And members of the medical community are pushing for more funding to treat gun injuries and deaths as a public health emergency. Senior medical correspondent, that's Dr. Tara Narula, spoke with a trauma surgeon at the center of that push, along with 3 parents who sadly lost children to firearms. Tara, this is such an important conversation. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Gail. Those parents all say the deaths of their children were preventable. Gwen LaCroix's son, Jonah Payne, used an unlocked gun to take his own life at age 17. Kristen Song's 15-year-old son, Ethan, was killed while playing with a gun at a friend's house. Mark Barden's 7-year-old son, Daniel, died in the Sandy Hook school shooting. We were joined by Dr. Chetan Sathya, director of Northwell Health's Center for Gun Violence Prevention.
This isn't something that happened to us. This is our life now. I often say that I feel like my DNA has been rewired since Daniel was shot to death.
Waiting for the ER doctor to come in, we had no idea Ethan had been shot. I thought he had gotten hit by a car.
I was afraid of it for a long time because Jonah struggled with his mental health. I didn't fight hard enough. I didn't take a stand and say there are not going to be any unlocked guns in my home.
The gun Jonah accessed was registered to Gwen LaCroix's then husband, who confirmed to CBS News that it was stored unlocked and unloaded in a separate part of the house from the bullets and in compliance with Michigan law.
Whether you're talking about accidental injuries or firearm-related suicide, either one is an exploration for a younger kid or another thing is an impulsive behavior. And why is it that we have, mental health issues in other countries like Canada, Europe, are no different than here? But the lethality when you have access to a firearm is just exponentially higher.
Firearms are the leading cause of death ages 1 to 19, and 2/3 of those deaths are suicides. It's estimated 13 million kids in the U.S. live in a home with at least one firearm.
My son and his best friend were posting to social media on a fake account, and the detective said there was probably 100 kids who knew your son and his best friend were playing with guns and said nothing. And that is why it is our job to protect our children from themselves.
Following Ethan's death in 2018, the Song family successfully lobbied for a Connecticut state law strengthening requirements around safe storage of firearms in homes. Opponents in the state legislature called Ethan's law too broad, but it passed with bipartisan support, and a federal version has been introduced.
I was just asking basically to step up and make sure that people cannot get a hold of unsecured guns. Eight children a day are dying because they've gained access to a gun.
30 states and the District of Columbia have passed child access prevention laws like Ethan's law. A similar measure was working its way through the Michigan legislature at the time of the Oxford school shooting.
Do you think that this is something that is not on most parents' radar?
I think it depends on where you live.
Yeah.
There are families who live with this every day as part of their reality. And Unfortunately, they're not getting the support and the attention that those of us who have suffered high-profile tragedies.
For more than 20 years, federally funded research into gun injury prevention was prohibited. In 2019, Congress lifted that ban. Dr. Sathya is among the first to receive NIH funding to study the root causes of gun injury and death.
Obviously, this is an area that was not funded for a very long time. What did that do to our understanding of firearm safety?
If you look at the leading causes of death, whether they be heart disease, motor vehicle collisions, cancer, I mean, firearms have always been at the top, and they receive like less than 1% of the funding of those other diseases.
I feel frustrated that we continue to come forward with our stories, and the inaction continues to make Jonah's loss even worse than it already is.
Our research right now that's funded by the NIH is focused on asking every single patient who comes into our hospital questions related to firearm injury risk. And so we're actually using a model that we use for substance use, where we started asking everybody. That's what helped normalize those conversations. And then if you screen positive for access, you're going to get gun locks, firearm safety counseling. And if you screen positive for violence risk, you're going to get violence interrupters, community resources to hopefully break that cycle of violence.
How do you feel about gun ownership?
I have no problem if someone owns a gun against negligent and reckless behavior.
I would like to see there be consequences for gun-owning adults who allow children to get a hold of their guns and either hurt themselves or someone else.
I mean, we work with a ton of gun owners. Gun-owning parents are even more appreciative of having that conversation because they really understand the importance of safety.
I've found that most gun owners that I speak to identify as responsible gun owners.
I mean, all three of us, it's a safe storage issue. And all three of our situations, the gun could have been stored in the time it takes you to take one breath.
What have you learned about the incidents that you've prevented?
All right. We could go on and on about that conversation. That's another conversation for another time. But it's very interesting now that San Jose, California is passing the first United States law requiring gun owners to get liability insurance and pay an annual fee. So now you're going to be held responsible for the gun that you leave in your car, for the gun that you leave not secured. Yeah, so I don't want to dive into that too deep because there's some things that I've heard on there that was just not quite right. All of a sudden now the new propaganda is going to be confiscate your weapons, trade in your guns. This is going to be the attack on guns now. But you do have a Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms, but nonetheless, they're going to continuously go after your guns. So if violence is not going to get addressed, mental health, mental issues are not, mental illness is not going to get addressed. Racism is not going to get addressed. None of these things are going to get addressed. Not white supremacist groups, none of these things are going to get addressed. We're just going to blame it on guns and that's going to be the end of it. No, absolutely not. Not if I can help it. All right. But we need to have this kind of conversation because the idea, when I say the idea of racism will not get addressed, who is going to talk about the gun violence that happens in the Black community? And then what are the solutions that your national and then local governments and administrators are going to put on the table? If only thing you could have is a buyback program and a gun confiscation program to tighten more, have stricter gun laws to take guns out of the hands of people like you who are law-abiding citizens and use firearms to protect yourself and your family, then no, I'm not with that at all. Do I teach firearm safety? Yes, of course. And everyone should stage and store their firearms in the proper manner and keep them away from children. So, yeah. So if you're not going to stand up for the few little rights that you have left, then you deserve no rights at all. That brings me to my quote of the day. All right. January 26th. January 26th. John Edgar Weidman. No, hold on. Here we go. All right, Frederick Douglass, January 26th. All right. It says, a man who would not labor to gain his rights is a man who would not, if he had them, prize and defend them. So even if you had the rights, if you're not going to labor, all right, if you're not going to labor, all right, to gain your rights, that same man will not labor to defend them. So do you deserve rights? And this is from the Nine Sasem, all right, by Imwadi Muke Bamani Baruti. All right, please pick the book up. Google it right now as we speak. I'm going to leave it up long enough so you can write the name down. All right. I need you to Google it right now because this is the calendar of revolutionary daily thoughts. It's a revolutionary quote for every single day of the year. All right. Get the book right now as we speak. All right. So will you, hold on. As Frederick Douglass asked, will you labor, all right, to defend your rights if you had them? All right. People raised on a diet of ease and uneased access, purposely socialized to reject the idea of the independent thinking is actually working to produce for self, place little, if any, value and concern on their rights. See, when you become relaxed and everything is easy and everything comes easy and you don't have to labor for anything, man. Hold on for a second. I guess so. I don't know if we can do that. Can we? All right. So we at Quan. What's good with you, Quan? On deck. I ain't see you creep in, Quan. My bad. Peace, Quan. What's good? Yeah, my StreamYard thing is acting up. But I'm working with it, Quan. You see, I got the Serious Minds logo thing in the background, just trying to make something else happen. Just trying to work with it. All right. So anyway, Quan, we were talking about San Jose, California passes the first United States law requiring gun owners to get liability insurance and pay an annual fee. All right, what do you think about that? Pay an annual fee to have a liability insurance policy for your firearms. We don't know if it's one firearm or just, liability period just for all of your firearms. So can you imagine someone having a gun collection? I know a dude has a gun collection of 80 guns. So you got to pay $25 per gun for insurance. Somebody do the math for us, please. 80 guns, $25 per gun. Talk to me. Thank you, Ms. Womack. Somebody's doing the math. 25 times 80. Come on, man. Some of you bots and robots and half human and half metaverse people. Come on, y'all should have been, y'all operating in the metaverse, so y'all should know that already. Some of y'all got, 2 stacks? Whew, Gas Tactical, thank you very much. Damn. Yeah, they can keep that. San Jose, California. 2 stacks a year? Nah, I'll be all right. Nah. No. Yeah, annually. Hold on. Look at this. San Jose passes the first United States law requiring gun owners to get liability insurance and pay an annual fee. $2,000 a year. We clear on that, bruh? That's it. That's what they said. I didn't really want to talk about this subject because I don't like jumping on subjects like that because I want to be able to have the information in front of me, for real. But yeah, nah. That's too, yeah, man. Nah, man. That's 2 stacks, man. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. That's voluntarily getting rid of your guns because I can't afford to pay the insurance. So since your insurance lapsed, we got to come get your gun. Gun confiscation. Slick. But this is what they're doing. This happened today. So no. But the other conversation that we needed to have today, which I need y'all to help me out on, Kwon came in late, but they're freezing humans. They're extending your life. All right. Cryonics. All right. Where people go to awake and end up in the future. All right. You die, they freeze your body, and then they can wake you up 20, 30 years later on. All right. I mean, I'm not BS. Come on, man. Hold on for a second. Let me just play a couple of these. Can y'all bear with me real quick while I play a few of these? I'm just saying. All right, let's see. Whoo! Hold on. Let me snatch this down and let me pull this over here. Let's go back to this. These people talking about over here, man. Damn.
When someone's declared legally dead today or clinically dead, what that really means is doctors can't help the person anymore, but they're not truly dead. Almost everything is still alive, which is why we can donate organs. So what we're saying is don't give up on the person, turn them over to us. We're going to protect the cells and we're going to store the patient at extremely cold temperatures where they can have a chance of being revived in the future with more advanced technology.
Wait, did y'all hear what he just said? Or am I crazy? Did y'all hear what he just said? They want to wake them up in the future. What? This process costs about $200,000 from what I've read. So you die, your family pays $200,000. They can freeze your body. And then later on, 20, 30 years, when they're ready to see you again and deal with you again, right? We can revive the body and kind of bring you back to life. Yeah, all right. Guy, you still with me? It's crazy. Yeah, but that same person still got to pay his gun tax if he live in San Jose, California.
I think it's kind of like asking someone in 1900, will it be possible to put someone on the moon? Well, a lot of people said, well, no, that's just science fiction. If you think about it, about 50 or 60 years ago, if you had a heart attack, you stopped breathing, people would check your vitals and say, oh, you're dead. That was it. We gave up on you. Today, we don't do that. We'll jump on you and do CPR, defibrillation, and usually resuscitate the person. Cryonics is really an extension of emergency medicine. Ideally, we want to have advanced warning and have a team at the bedside so we can begin with no delay whatsoever. Once the doctor has declared legal death, and we have to wait for that point currently, we can begin the procedure by lifting the patient from the bed into our ice bath. We're going to cover them with ice and add water and circulate the icy water around the patient to accelerate the cooling. we're also going to restart respiration and circulation. The reason is we have to get a number of different medications into the patient to protect the cells. At this point, it's very much like donating organs. We're trying to keep the tissues viable for as long as possible until we can begin the next part of the procedure. We're going to open up the chest, access the major blood vessels of the heart, and then connect them to our pump and chiller system here. The cryoprotectant is basically a medical grade antifreeze, if you like. As we go below freezing, then instead of ice crystals forming, the fluid we use will just become thicker and thicker and basically just hold all the cells in place without any damage. About half our members choose not to preserve the whole body, myself included. We're just going to preserve our brain. Unless I die early in an accident, by the time I need this, my body's going to be in pretty bad shape anyway, and the whole thing's going to have to be regenerated. So the process is very much the same as for a whole body patient, except that instead of the whole body, obviously, we're going to do a separation, a few vertebrae down the neck, and then we're going to take the cephalon, the brain plus the skull, put it upside down in the neuro ring, and then we're going to use the carotid blood vessels here instead. And if we do a good job, we hope to see something like this. What you can see here is the brain is actually shrunk because we've taken a lot of water out of it, and there is no ice inside the brain at all. So this one is a very good brain, but they don't all look that good. This one, for instance, is not so good. The brain is not contracted. So we can't guarantee that everybody's going to have a perfect cryopreservation. Many of our members will say, just do the best you can with whatever you find. Well, the worst cases really are either cases where we're not notified until a long time after legal death, or cases where an autopsy is required, a full autopsy, where the brain is actually removed from the head and is sliced into pieces. If necessary, we will do what we call a straight freeze, where there'll be no protection of the cells, but even so, it may not be impossible to fix that in the future. And if you think about it, there are actually millions of people walking around the world today who were cryopreserved. They were just embryos at the time. We can do skin, we can do corneas, we can do heart valves, we can do eggs and sperm. There are many tissues we can cryopreserve reversibly, but going from that to a whole organ is right on the edge of possibility today. So it's really a matter of extending those achievements over time. Once we finish in the operating room, we wrap the patient in a sleeping bag, then secure them inside these aluminum pods. And so they're protected against any kind of motion. So there's 4 whole body patients, plus we can also get up to 5 neuro patients in the center column there. These vessels, they're basically very large, expensive thermos flasks. A lot of people say, what happens if the power goes out? The answer is absolutely nothing, because no energy is needed to maintain the temperature. We just refill with liquid nitrogen once a week. And so really just by refilling the liquid, we keep the temperature low. And you might say, that's a lot of money, but in fact, most of our members, over 90%, pay using life insurance. Our membership is pretty varied, but I think there are a few things that they tend to have in common. First of all, they tend to be pretty highly educated, and that's because it takes a bit of knowledge to understand the process. But I think actually more important than that is a sense of adventure. Because we're asking people, basically, it's a gigantic experiment, right? If it works, you're going to come back in the future, decades from now, maybe a century from now, and things will be very different. And most people, when they think of that, oh my goodness, that's terrifying. I don't want to do that. I think really it's a bet on advancing technology. We are actually funding some research into nanomedicine, which is certainly going to be very relevant to bringing people back. And then, of course, there's the whole area of tissue regeneration. We're starting to grow organs in the lab for people who can't get a good organ match. We live longer than people in previous generations, but why should we give up just because our body quits at some point? Why don't we get to choose that? I absolutely do believe that we're going to beat death.
All right. Okay. Yeah. No. So, no. This was what I was looking up on my other screen. I was like, man. U.S. lab is freezing bodies in hope of bringing them back to life inside the lab. Human corpses frozen by cryogenics could be brought back to life in the next decade. An expert claims around 350 people worldwide have had their corpses preserved at low temperatures immediately after death in the hope it can be revived in the future. So you might be meeting some of these people in a minute. You're right. No, sir. Nope. In the immortal words of Sage, no. So I am asking you right now, let's just stop, take a deep breath, and look at let's take the human factor and add that to the equation. Take disease that you already have at death. Will that be frozen also? So then when you wake up 20 years, 30 years later, what happens with that? Will that same individual be able to have children? Right? And I'm just throwing this out there. This is going to sound very science fiction-ish, but let me just throw it out there. I know you could bring my body back 20 years from now. So I rob a Brinks truck and I get, I don't know, let's just say I do some scam where I get $2-3 billion. I hide it, fake my death, like actually, go to fake the death like for real on some Machiavelli type shit. Fake the death, like really get shot, really get like, yeah, die, and then pay to get my body frozen so I could come back and enjoy my $2 billion a little bit later on. I know that sounds like a Hollywood screenplay type stuff, but yeah, what do y'all think? Or am I late? So yeah, he's trying to beat death, basically. Yeah. He's trying to beat death. Yeah, you might be off the radar, DZM1, but what about your children's children? Okay. Maybe it's just me. I'm just throwing it out there. No, sir. Okay, got you. Inflation is so high, the dollar won't be as valuable. But what about gold? What about diamonds? What about the metaverse? Yeah, what about just, yeah. When I read this today, I said, this is so far what the hell I was thinking today. Yeah. Nah. Doc said this ish ain't gonna happen. Guaranteed money won't be there. Okay, so let's fast forward to the future, 20 years from now. What will be the medium of exchange? Kung Fu, thank you very much, bro. Exactly what I said earlier. I said the human doesn't, the thing that makes you human is the fact that you have a soul. Yes, gold and diamonds, but it's highly unlikely you're coming back the same. You're right. But you need a soul. And I don't know if them doctors have figured that out. How are you going to freeze the soul? Who was it that said, I know you got soul and I'm super bad? James Brown? Okay. What determines, what makes you a human? See, you laughed. You laughed at Elijah Muhammad. You thought Master Fraud Muhammad gave him some wild, psychedelic, science fiction kind of mumbo jumbo when he was talking to us about what Master Fraud Muhammad taught him in reference to Yaqub. You thought he's playing. Talk to me, guy. Money is an acronym, means of necessary exchange. Y equals self. Okay. Money is an acronym. It means it's for means of necessary exchange. Y equal yourself. So when Elijah Muhammad talked about Yaqub, you know Yaqub's story and history? But here we are now. These people making humans, freezing humans. Yes, tactical, you're absolutely correct. We are now the currency. We are the currency. So now Elijah Muhammad don't seem too crazy now. Wow. All right. Bottles of melanin being sold now. You're right. Woo, man. You know what amazes me? That people will hear a particular degree of science that is way beyond what they've learned in public school or even college or whatever, and they'll readily dismiss it because it doesn't fit into the diameter of their thinking or the circumference of what they've learned from white people. Did I say that correctly? So then when Elijah Muhammad started talking about a big head scientist named Yaqub, y'all say, get out of here. So it was a black scientist on the island of Pelon that made white people. You never studied it, but you condemn it. And then here we are today in 2022 talking about these people freezing human beings and bringing them back. Cloning people and all this other stuff. Wow. Come on now. Just help me out. So I'm just being very real with you. So when we start talking about this idea of human corpses being frozen, all right, it begs to ask the question. All right. Is it possible? Are there cloned human beings walking around and interacting with us right now as we speak? Can someone answer that question for me real quick? Those of y'all that don't do a lot of typing and talking, and can I hear from some of y'all? Because I see that y'all on, but y'all not saying anything. You just kind of sitting back. Richard Carson, you're absolutely correct. As Robin Harris would say, test tube, baby. China got that on lock. So there's people among us then, right now, that are actually cloned and walking among us then. Can we admit that? Right? So then Elijah Muhammad wasn't that crazy when he said Yaqub grafted the white man out of the black man. And I know some of y'all are like, oh, here we go with that shit. Come on now. No, I don't think those individuals are coming back as clones. I think them people are coming back as themselves, but they don't know themselves to come back as themselves. So I guess along with preserving the body and freezing it, they're going to freeze that person's clothes, pictures, and all that kind of stuff. Because if that person comes back 30 years from now, where's the soul going? All right. Don't we need a soul in order to kind of make the human a human? Because I remember 4 or 5 years ago, some of y'all were saying I was cloned. No, you're right. Who stole the soul? That's what we talk about. Who stole the soul? Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I don't have that makeup. They can't use my body. Yeah, it's like, okay, they try to clone me. They be like, oh nah, dude's a vegan. I can't even. Yeah, nah, we don't even know what to feed him, man. Because as soon as you see me at McDonald's, be like, yo, that ain't Griff. Be like, no, that ain't Griff. As soon as you see me eating a foot-long ham and cheese sandwich, Philly cheesesteak. Come on, give me some island recipes and dishes, guy. Curry goat. You understand what I'm saying? Locks, what do you call it? What's the dish, man? Hold on. Lamb chops or something. It's like, nah, that ain't great. Oxtail, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Oxtail and rice with some plantains or something. Some roti. All right. Some vegan oxtails. God, you crazy. She said some vegan. Some vegan oxtails. Okay. Yeah. Some roti, some vegan. Okay, roti and vegan style. Okay, yeah, they had that. Some rice and peas and some other stuff. Yeah. Now, but what if they clone? What if you die and the cryonic people get a hold of you, freeze your body and bring you back, and then now you can't, yeah, what you gonna eat? Because you gotta have a soul. And then what happens to your memory? Are you going to remember when you were alive? Are you going to be able to get vegan bean pie when you get back? I mean, talk to me. Ah, Jade Michelle, you on it. Jade Michelle said this probably ties into the organ trafficking, murdering of us, to put our organs on ice for future clones and these future human beings. Got to be mindful of being an organ donor on your driver's license. That's okay. Feeding you beyond meat. They can upload your brain to a chip. So all I got to do is feed you the stuff that you're eating anyway. If it's beyond meat and beyond this, then you're not eating food anyway. It's beyond meat. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Wow. Muscle memory is different from imagery and sound memory. Okay, I got you. Yes. Truth Serum said, what happened to me? I used to speak facts. I'm facilitating the conversation. These people don't want to come on every night and hear just Professor Griffin, what I feel and what I think. This is a conversation. Now, you can join the conversation, all right? Or you can kind of go down the dial. You don't have to stay here. We're facilitating the conversation. So you want me to come on here and espouse everything that I think I know about cryogenics, cloning, whatever, have people let me rant for about an hour and then say peace to everyone and have people donate to the platform for that. No, bro, I'm not doing that. We're facilitating the conversation. This is very interesting. Even his comment is very interesting. Shawnee Black, we're not just now talking about it. Go back and listen to some of the lectures and talks I used to do with Delbert Blair. Go back and listen to Phil Valentine. Who else used to talk about this? I don't know, Black Dot, Panic, few other people. We're not just now talking about it. We're just now talking about it on here. All right. Because I get to choose. And sometimes you get to choose what subjects we're going to talk about on here. I don't mind taking somebody's subject. And this wasn't even my subject today. If you came in earlier, I said I got this subject from my stepdaughter, who was basically talking about, yo, they getting out of hand. They taking this thing a little bit too far. Nisha Shabazz, what's good with you? Does this have anything to do with that jab and that poke? Come on now, because if they're going to rewire your RNA, your DNA, if they're going to rewire it, then you die. They freeze you and bring you back. They can rewire it again. Rewire it again. Will we get this idea of altered carbon? I wrote a song. I remember that, man. The repet. It was a repet project, right? Hold on. Repet. What was the repet project? Nothing new under the sun. You're absolutely correct. What was the repet project? Six-day, the repet infomercial. Let's watch the repet infomercial. Since you brought it up, Smart Pharmacy. See what we come up with. Man, I could have left it over there. Like right here. Hold on. Let's put it over there. Nope. Let's not put it over there. Let me stop sharing. Hold on, family. Make sure we put it in the right place so we can see it. There. All right. Let's see what it looks like. tissue.
Welcome to Repet, where love means no surprises. Your pet doesn't want to break your heart. Thanks to Repet, he doesn't have to. We can clone your four-legged loved one in just a few short hours. How can we do it? It all begins with the growing of blanks, animal drones stripped of all characteristic DNA in embryonic tanks. Welcome to Repet, where love means no surprises. Your pet doesn't want to break your heart. Thanks to Repet, he doesn't have to. Memories and instincts are painlessly transplanted via the optic nerve. It's important to have your pet SYNC-corded on a regular basis, and we'll do the SYNC-cording free at any Repet store. But if you've lost a pet that hasn't been SYNC-corded, in most cases we can still take a postmortem SYNC-cording within 12 hours of your pet's demise. Your cloned pet is exactly the same as he was before, right down to the DNA. With all training and memories intact, you and your child will never know the difference. But cloning is just the beginning of the story here at Repet. We also offer many genetic engineering options to make your experience with your pet even better than before. Are you allergic to your cat? We can make your Repet cat hypoallergenic. Wish your dog were smaller or larger? We can do that too. And let's say you've just redecorated your home. We can coordinate your pet's colors and markings to match your new decorating scheme. Does your otherwise perfect pet have one or two behavior flaws? Does your cat scratch the furniture? Does your dog dig up the backyard? We can eliminate these unwanted behaviors at a slight additional cost. Both the cloning and genetic engineering are backed by the same simple pledge: 0 defects, guaranteed. If you have any questions or you wish to hear about today's special offers, one of our knowledgeable sales staff will be more than happy to help. Once again, welcome to Repet, where love means no surprises.
Live on in our memories.
She's only 8. She won't understand that, honey.
Look, this is the natural process of life. You're born, you live, and you die. I really appreciate that, honey.
Will you do it?
No.
Thank you,
But I won't
darling.
do
And
it.
Clara, thanks.
Hold on. All right, hold up. So I take it we've been there before, because I guess they're 9, 10 steps ahead. They've already put this kind of stuff out there in the movies, and yeah. So thank you very much for that information, Ish, Smile Pharmacy. Yeah, art imitating life, and thus life imitates art. Right. So I think the kind of show that, just to let everyone know, that I would like to continue to have is one where it's kind of open dialogue. We lay it out, see what you have to think about it. If I just wanted to have a show where I just talk, then I wouldn't even be on here. I would just do some audio and just put it out there, and don't worry about washing up, combing my hair, putting on some clothes to come before y'all every night. I'd rather not do that. If I had it my way, I'd open the phone lines up and have y'all call in so I can hear what y'all got to say. But it's cool to read it sometimes. I can put it up on the screen. A lot of times when you open the phone lines up, people don't know how to get up the phone. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing, though. All right? You said they put stuff in movies to see how we would react. Most of us don't understand. Like when The Matrix came out, how many of your friends saw The Matrix and didn't get it and still don't get it? Come on, talk to me. Come on now. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Come on, come on. You said you kind of get it. The Matrix came out, Matrix 1. Matrix came out, and I was talking to people about it, and they was like, nah, I don't get that. I'm like, okay. Took a while, definitely needed the source for the second one. Shout out to Sophia Stewart. But yeah. No, it may be a situation where they're playing God. It may be that situation where they just playing God. All right? It just maybe one of those kind of situations. So yeah. All right. All right, family. So tomorrow we definitely have to discuss this introduction to Black History. Black History Month. We're gonna dive into it and let's see if we can kind of discover some things in Black History Month that we didn't know. Can I just throw that out as a challenge? Discover something in history, in Black history, that you didn't know before. And so can we discuss it tomorrow? Is that cool with everyone? I think that'd be cool. All right. All right. Hopefully tomorrow I can have on, if anybody is in and around, what's the app now that they're using? Clubhouse. I think 5 o'clock tomorrow I'll be on Clubhouse with my good brother, King B out of Chicago, filmmaker. We're going to be discussing film, Black film, his film about mental health, mental illness and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a good thing tomorrow. And then I'll be back on here tonight. Hopefully I can get Khalid El Hakim to come on to talk about the Black History 101 Mobile Museum and what we have in store for tonight. Let me see if I can call him real quick, man. See if he'll come on for tomorrow night. All right. So because if you're not doing anything for your children for Black History Month, someone needs to. All right. So we gotta step the game up. All right. We're not gonna keep going over to Dr. Martin Luther King. Yeah, I have a dream. Yeah, Barack Obama got that. Yada yada yada. Whoopie whoop. Rosa Parks. Frederick Douglass. Yeah, whoopie whoop. Yeah, got that. We're gonna discover some things that we didn't know about Black History Month. All right, starting tomorrow. Let me give him a call. Peace. I am on my show right now. I don't have you on the speakerphone. They can't hear you. So, could you come on the show tomorrow for a few minutes? Yeah. No, I'm not cloning myself. No.
I'm watching you, bro.
All right. So can you come on tomorrow for a few minutes to discuss this Black History thing? Oh, is that cool?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right.
I got you.
So Colin said he'll come on. I'll call you back, bro.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Colin said he'll come on and discuss Black History Mobile Museum, Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and what we have in store, what we have planned. But I want you to see if you can step up to the plate tomorrow, each one of y'all, and let me know what y'all discovered new. All right. I Googled something today, which I'm going to share with y'all tomorrow, but I'm going to give it to y'all so y'all can Google it so we can have a flowing conversation tomorrow. So here's everyone's homework assignment. Go to YouTube, right? And I put in, Black people created everything. That's what I put in. And this is what came up. Black people invented everything. Black people created everything. So that first one came up. Angel_IKYG. Check him out. Listen to it. And we're going to discuss this tomorrow. All right, family. It's Professor Griff. I love y'all to life. I got to get ready to get out of here. I got to finish packing because it's cold as hell in Michigan. And I'll be on deck in Michigan this weekend. All right. And then I got to go to the side of the mountain in Pennsylvania, Harrisburg somewhere, Making my way back to some warmer climates. And then for the ATL, I'll see y'all back in the ATL on the 12th. All right. All right, this is Professor Griff. Love y'all to life. This is Serious Minds for Serious Minds. Shout out to the Serious Minds family, my man, guy from Gas Tactical. Thanks for coming on, sharing with us. Thank you, Kyle El Akeem from the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. Thank you, Quan, for doing what you always do, being on deck. And thanks to everyone that have lent your brain power, lent your energy, and everything that you have to offer to this particular conversation tonight. All right. Love y'all to life. This is Professor Griff. Peace. Ja-da-da-da. All right. Nope, I don't want no musical background. See, they're trying to give me all this other stuff, and it's like, nah, son, I want to just go out like I came in, like this.
The Alternative Black Studies online course with instructor Professor Griff. Sign up today at www.professorgriff.me and Serious Minds Institute. The Alternative Black Studies online course with instructor Professor Griff. Sign up today at www.professorgriff.me and Serious Minds Institute. The Alternative Black Studies online course with instructor Professor Griff. Sign up today at www.professorgriff.me and Serious Minds Institute. Thank you.